Welcome back to my next playthrough series, this time Thunderstone Quest. We're doing Barricades mode, and I'm doing it solo. So we're throwing everything into the mix. There's been quite a few videos up on YouTube explaining how to play, and playthroughs, and all of that. So I'm just going to go over basically the cards. It's basically a deck builder. Barricades mode means you can build barricades. We're basically trying to protect the town. The monsters and the main villain are trying to destroy the town, and we have so many rounds to do it in. It's kind of a built-in timer. I don't think I'm going to describe anything in super great detail until we're purchasing cards. We basically have 2 items, we have 3 spells, and we have 3 weapons. And those are set up from Chapter 1, A Mirror in the Dark. It tells you what to use for your cards. And it's basically part 1, it's called Rumblings from the Past. There's a whole story involved, but we'll get to that when we need to. So basic overview, we've got 4 heroes. We have Hawkswood is a elf rogue hero, avian. We have Pylorian, it's a human wizard. We have Silverhelm, which is a dwarf cleric fighter, and we have Stormhand, a dwarf fighter. Cost of cards is in the bottom right hand corner. Gold value that you get for going to town is in the top right hand corner. Attack value is in the top left hand corner, and the skill value is the number, a little banner underneath that number, which tells you what you can use for weapons. So instance here, the short sword is a 3, so our avian rogue has a skill of 3. She could equip the short sword to her. Now they changed a few things in Thunderstone Quest. If you have enough skill points, you can use more than one weapon. So if, say, Silverhelm here had 6, he could use 2 short swords. If he had 9 for this, he could use 3 short swords. You can equip more than one weapon. And they've added gear to the game as well. Now we've got like iron rations, light lanterns, and healing potions, and they do pretty much what you think they would do. And wow, there's so much to this game. I'm going to be playing the Town Guard, which is a prestige class which comes with the Barricades mode. And our Town Guard, I'm just going to use this little figure. We don't really need a miniature in the game, but you know, if you go to certain locations to build a barricade in here, you'll need a miniature. So I apologize for not really going over the rules and things. We're going to zoom down on the player mat. I'll just show you that kind of briefly. We'll look at the Town Guard a little bit. We'll look at the dungeon that's set up, the monsters that are in there right now, and then I think we are just going to go ahead and play the game. So how the game works, in solo mode and co-op mode, you can go to town first. You can always buy 1 card, no matter which area. If you go to Guild's Quarter, then you can level up different heroes. I'll try to explain it as I play. So you can go to town and then you can go to the dungeon. If you're playing the competitive version of this game, you can either go to town or go to the dungeon. If you go to the temple, even if you're in co-op or solo mode, you cannot go to the dungeon because you're healing more wounds. You're taking your whole turn to go to the dungeon. And we have a limited number of turns. Alright, we'll look at the Town Guard ability a little bit. And our player mat. And then I think we're just going to get into having a turn or 2. Okay, so this is the player mat. We basically have our draw deck, we have our discard pile. We have a guild sponsorship, which we're not using in solo, and side quests, which we're not using in solo. But we are going to be using a prestige class, and I've chosen the Town Guard, and hence that's why I've used this little D&D miniature, because he kind of looks like a Town Guard, I guess. We have wound tokens that we can take through effects in the game. Red is just regular wounds. Blue is freezing frost damage that can come up through certain effects in the dungeon. And our hit points, our wounds determine how many cards we draw at the end of our turn. So if we have 2 wounds, we can only have a hand size of 5. Right now, currently, we don't have any wounds, so we have a hand size of 6. So we're going to be drawing up 6 cards for our first hand. It tells you what you can do in the village and what you can do in the dungeon. Like I said, in the solo play, you can go to the village, then go to the dungeon. If you use an effect on a card that is village or dungeon, you can't use it for both. So there's that. Pretty much all that needs to be said here. I guess you could read the little details here as to how things work. we'll get into it as we play. I suppose while we're sitting here, we may as well, get our 6 starting cards so you can see what they are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And let's see what we get to start with. We get an adventurer, we get a dagger. We'll get into more details. We play the hand. We have Bree Septum. This is for playing solo. We get 1 Bree card, another dagger. A Joba, we get a Joba card for playing solo. This came in the Barricades mode expansion, and another adventurer. So actually, not a bad starting hand. So I'm just going to leave it face up on my mat here. Now let's take a look at the town guard in a little bit more detail, and I'll explain that. So this is probably not going to focus worth a damn, but we have a bag. These are the damage tokens that are going to come out in town. We'll see how that mechanic works here. So we have our town guard barricades mode. There's 2 sides to this. There's regular mode and competitive mode, barricades mode. So you flip this card over. Basically means we can try to level up, which means gain a new ability here. If we don't take any damage in town, or we cancel damage in town by having built a barricade which blocks the incoming damage. So, but then we have to pay the number. You can see the number here is a 0, 1, a 2. We have to pay that many experience points to get that rank. And we'll get into more detail, but basically you can level up your character as you go along. As you level up, you're going to get more and better skills available to you in the game. But again, we have a limited time frame because we're playing against Smorgasbord. So now let's take a little bit closer look at the dungeon. And then I think we're going to do a turn or two just so you can kind of see how the game operates for this episode. Alright, lots to take in. So, basically how the dungeon works is you start in the wilderness, and then you can move yourself down into the dungeon. We have level 1 monsters in the level 1 dungeon rooms, level 2 monsters in the level 2 dungeon rooms, level 3 monsters in the level 3 dungeon rooms. And then at the very bottom, we'll show you here in a second, we have the lair of the evil Overmind that we're trying to defeat. So basically what happens here in the wilderness, you can come here and you can fight the giant rat. And this is printed right on the board. It's always available. If you have 4 attack, when you defeat the giant rat as spoils, which means after the battle's finished, you can level up a level 0 hero paying no experience points, which is good. Because it costs you 2 plus the existing level of the hero to level them up into a different hero. It says the 0 monsters have never been removed or defeated. It may be battled, once per turn per player. So this basically just says you can battle the giant rat once per turn per player. So you can only do it once in your turn. Then we get into the different dungeon rooms, and they're all connected by these little doors here. So from the wilderness, there's 2 doors. You can either go into the mine, or you can go into the abandoned gate. Then there's a door here. The doors go sideways, and they go up and down as well. Now, the farther you get into the dungeon, you'll see there's light requirements. So to get into the abandoned gate, or the mine, costs 0 light to get in there. So you can always go in there if you do that. Rewards are always on the bottom right-hand corner. So if you defeat this enemy, who's the Goblin Warrior, you're going to get 2 iron rations. If you defeat this guy, you're going to get a lantern. So on the card itself, there's a printed reward. And on some of the tiles, like here you get a lantern, here you get a bread. Anyway, you'll see how it works. That's how much damage you take, the bottom right-hand corner, when you fight the enemies. And of course, this is how much you need to do to defeat them. So for instance, this one is 5, this magic ability. And that doesn't really matter. It just has 2 magic resistance. So if you would need 7 magic attack to take this guy out, or just 5 regular. Likewise over here, he's got +1 to 4, so he's 5. And the 3 is -1 for each wielded edged weapon. So if you're attacking him with edged weapons, it's going to make him tougher. So there's just all kinds of little things like that. And some of the rooms have special abilities. And we'll get into them as we decide to go to each specific room. So monsters get tougher the deeper you go, and the rooms generally get tougher the deeper you go. The little triangle symbol here is when you move into this room, something's going to happen. You got to read what it says. Some of the cards have triangles on them like that, which means if you encounter that monster, you got to do what it says. There's before battle effects and there's after battle effects. Lots of stuff to take in. Let's take a little quick look now at Smorga's Lair, our nemesis. And I know this is a ton of stuff to take in, but it'll all make sense as we play the game. So this is Smorga's Lair. We're starting at turn 1, and you can see here this little symbol here. This relates to these really neat custom dice. And so at the start of every turn, which we're going to be doing here in a second, you're going to roll this die, and you're going to take a look at the symbol, and you're going to see what it does. And there are certain things on this die. If you get the little three-toed monster symbol, you add a monster to the town, 2 monsters to the town, and then there's all kinds of other symbols. This is you get to draw a card. This is you get to use your special champion ability on your prestige class. Lots of things can happen. And as you can see, as the turns go by, we're going to be rolling 1 die for the first 1, 2, 3 turns. Then when we get to turn 4, we're rolling 2 dice. So more and nastier things can happen. Then 3 dice. When we go to 9, we flip this card over, and then we can attack Smorga directly. You cannot attack her right now because she's kind of hiding down in her lair. Oh my god, lots to say. Let's just go ahead, take our first turn here, and we'll kind of get an idea maybe of how things work. Alright, so we're going to start off here by going to the town. And it doesn't matter where you go in town, you can always buy 1 card, and you can always heal 1 wound. Just, you can do that by going to town. So basically what's going to happen in the solo playthrough is every start of the turn, you can go to town, you can heal 1 wound, and you can buy any 1 card. So it doesn't matter. So I go to the bazaar, I go to the marketplace, I go to the shop of wonders. You can do these things, but you can always buy a card, heal a wound, as well as the special extra abilities. And I forgot, the very first thing we need to do in a turn is we need to roll that die, of course, for the threat level, and see exactly what it is that's going to happen to us. So let's do that first. Alright, so we're going to be rolling 1 die. Got the dice tower here for Smorga's Lair. And what do we get? We get the purple. Now what does the purple tell us? The purple says, oh, that's the very first one. You may take 2 festering wounds. Oh crap. I'll show you those cards. Yeah, they're delightful. You can take 2 of them. So these are going to go on your discard pile. And they're basically give this card's boost to the monster you battle this turn. You're not going to be able to get rid of these cards either. So every time you fight a monster, if you have a festering wound in your hand, it's going to add +1 to that monster. The other thing we can do is we can add 2 monsters to the pool. I think we're going to do that. And how I'm going to represent the monsters being added to the pool, of course I have D&D minis, so I'm going to add an orc, and I'm going to add a little goblin here. So we have 2 monsters. It's not showing up very well. I'll put them on the main board from off the wilderness track to represent those are monsters coming to town to attack us. So that's the very first thing we've done. Alright, now we can go and do our town activities and then maybe go to the dungeon. Alright, so right up at the top here I got the goblin and I got the orc coming in from the wilderness into the town to attack us. Alright, so let's take a look at our cards. So what we can do, we have basically an adventure. What we're doing for town is we're looking at the top right hand corner of the cards. We're going to look at how much gold we have. Now we can decide to go to any of these different spots. I should say it costs you 10 gold to build a barricade. So if I had 10 gold, which I don't, I think I have 1, 4, 5, I have 7 gold. If I had 10 gold, I could go to the temple district and I could build a barricade. But if you go to the temple district, you may not level up heroes this turn, and card effects will not let you enter the dungeon this turn. So you can't go to the dungeon if you go to the temple. So anyway, I don't have 10, I can't build a barricade anyway. So what do I have for gold? Well, like I said, I have 3, 4, 5, I have 7 gold. Now, some of these cards will have, like this has spoils on it, some will have dungeon on them, and some will have village on them, but I don't have any cards that have village on them, so I'm just stuck with straight 7 gold. Now, what can I do with 7 gold? Well, I can spend 2 each for iron rations, 3 for a light, 4 for a healing potion, but I think I want to ramp up my heroes right now. I could also buy items and spells, but I think for 7 gold, because I've got 7, I think we're just going to go right ahead and we're going to get a hero. And we're going to get this guy. Stormhand, he's a dwarf fighter. If you use edged weapons with him, they're -1 requirement. So he could use a 5 skill point edged weapon because he gets -1. Do we have any 5 skill point edged weapons? We don't. We just have a 3. So it doesn't really matter, but he's still 2 damage for attacking. That's better than a regular guy. So we're spending all of our 7 gold to get him, put him into our discard pile. Alright, next up, we're going to go to the dungeon. Well, how do you do that? Well, we're going to be playing down all our cards. I guess I'll use this area here. So the adventurer is going to take a dagger with her, I believe him, it's hard to tell. That's going to be 2 damage, and you can see the requirement of 2 is met by the basic adventurer. And we can go ahead and equip the dagger. And it says here, dungeon, if wielded by a 0 class hero, which this hero is, you get to draw a card. Now we do have that twice actually, because we have 2 daggers and we have 2 adventurers. So that's going to allow me to draw 2 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So the first one I draw is another adventurer. The second one I draw is another adventurer. Okay, very cool. And now we're going to take a look at basically all of our attacks. So we're going to play down all our cards. I'm not sure just how easily that's showing up. So basically, and Joba has got some spoils ability, but doesn't have a attack ability. So if we look at all of our attacks, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 attacks. Let's go. We have 7 attack, and I don't believe we have any light at all. No, so none of the cards generate light, but we do have 7 attack. So let's go to the dungeon, see what we can do with 7 attack. Alright, so something that's obvious right away, we have no light, so we cannot get any farther than just the wilderness or the abandoned mine, the abandoned gate or the mine, because we needed at least 1 light to get here. We don't have enough attack to take on the Direwolf Master or the Hobgoblin Lieutenant. He's got 8. This guy's got 8 plus 3 physical resistance anyway. Can't even touch them. So we have a decision. We can either take out the Goblin Warrior, it's going to give us 2 iron rations, or we can take out the Goblin Shaman. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can we take this guy out? -1 for each wielded edged weapons, and we actually have 2 wielded edged weapons because we have 2 daggers, which are considered edged weapons. So this guy would be 4, 5, he would be 6. So we can take out either one of these guys, and they both give us 3 experience. It shows you here in the middle. This guy's, and they're both level 1, which means 1 of our threats to the town will be eliminated if we take them out. So we have our option. We can get, this is going to give us a wound. It doesn't really matter because we can heal 1 wound at the beginning of our next turn anyway in town. So our options are we can get 2 iron rations, or we can get a light. And I think we're going to go ahead, we're going to knock this guy out. So we go down to the mine because we can get there. It costs 0 light, and you don't have to fight the stuff you go through. You just have to have enough light ability to get there. So we take this guy out. And these don't go into your hand anymore. I think Thunderstone Advance, if you beat a monster, it actually went into your hand. These just are eliminated from the game now. But you get the rewards. So we're going to get an iron rations and 3 experience. So he's eliminated. So we're going to get an iron rations for killing him. We're going to get an iron rations for beating a monster in that room. 2. And we're going to get 3 experience points. 1, 2, 3, which is cool. So that's the spoils of beating that guy up. Alright, now we do have one other effect, and the other effect is on as Joba, the spoils. Level up 1 hero paying its costs. If they are 0, instead pay 0. So we can level up a hero for 0 cost because of Joba. So normally to level up a 0 cost adventurer would cost 2 because you always add 2 to their level in experience to level them up. So we're going to take a 0 level adventurer, if this is all making sense to you. We're going to destroy him and we're going to level him up. And I think I'm actually going to go ahead and level it up to getting our Hawksmerk alien elf as rogue. The reason I want a rogue, because if you move into this room or through this room, you have to lose gear, which is lanterns or food or stuff to get to the next level, unless you have a rogue in your party. Alright, so far we have 3 experience, and we have 2 iron rations. Iron rations can either be spent for 1 gold each, or you can eat them to give you +2 skill on a hero. I know, lots to take in. And that's going to be the end of the turn, so we're going to replace the mine monster with another one. and we end up getting a goblin poison potion tester. Humanoid goblin. If you move through this room, gain 1 wound. So if you move through the room, you can see the little triangle there. If we move into the room, though, we can just smack him down. Oh boy. Alright, and we're going to discard our cards, but we're not finished yet. Now remember, we took out 1 level 1 monster, so we get rid of 1 level 1 monster threat. We still have 1 left. Well, the one that's left now is going to attack our town. So how does that work? Let's go to the main board, and I'll show you that. Alright, our main town is being attacked by the one goblin, so he comes into the town and he's going to do something. Well, we have a bag here. In this bag is our 20 tokens, because there are basically 5 locations in town. They each have 4 hit points, so to speak, as I crash into the camera. And if we had a barricade here, we would be able to block it, but unfortunately we do not. Yeah, so I could have taken 2 festering wounds, which I really didn't want to take, and it looks like the marketplace got smacked. So what we do is we put that here in the marketplace, and I should say we lose the game. I'm playing on the normal mode. We lose the game if all 5 locations are completely destroyed. And once a location is completely destroyed, of course you can't go there and do anything. So that's not going to help us. Alright, so there you have it. 1 smack to the marketplace. Now, unfortunately, for our town guard, we can't even level up our town guard prestige class, because in order to do so, a turn ends when a barricade canceled an attack. Well, that didn't happen. Or if the village received no damage, but it did. So we can't level up our town guard, which sucks. And that's basically the end of a turn. And so, I think I'm going to leave the episode off here. It's gone on quite long enough. We're going to be drawing 6 new cards for our next hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that. So we're going to get 2 Thunderstone Staffs. This is also for solo play. -2 if the Guardian is revealed, or +2. Is that gold? Or +2 light if the Guardian is revealed. It also gives you light. So it gives you 3 light. Dungeon. If you have a wound, draw 1 card. If you have 4 or fewer hit points, you may heal a wound instead. So that's what the Thunderstone Staff does for us. We got 2 of them this time. So we got 2 light now, which is pretty cool. But we have to shuffle our discard pile and draw 2 more cards for our next turn. And then we're going to end off our episode here for today. So this will be Thunderstone Quest, Barricades Mode, Solo with the Town Guard. I don't know, 2 more cards. Alright, for our next hand. So our next hand... So we do get our hero. Oh, we get both of our heroes. Wow, and I did shuffle there too. So it looks like next turn we could have a pretty good hand. We're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5 attack. Well, maybe 5 attack is not that fantastic. And we have 2 Thunderstone Staffs. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's going to be our hand for next turn. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, likes. This is Thunderstone Quest. Sort of complicated, but not too bad. I should also say, I didn't even mention it, that Arcane Shop of Wonders has treasure cards. These are awesome. Certain monsters and rooms will give you treasure cards as a reward. But yeah, we have... oh, and we're supposed to... I think we move the... I can't remember if the last step is moving the tracker. I'm going to do it at the start of the episode so I don't forget. So at the start of next episode, we're going to move Smorgas Lair's track up 1 and then roll the die. I'll try to keep myself organized that way. So that's going to be it. Join me next time. I don't know how quickly this series is going to come up. It probably won't be 1 a day. Like I said, I'm in summertime gets very busy for my work schedule, so it's difficult for me to just get a video out every single day. But I will do my best. So hope you're enjoying it. It's quite a lot to take in. I did back the Kickstarter, so I got the Barricades mode, I got the base game, I got everything. But I wanted to kind of play through it here on my channel, 1 chapter at a time. So in the book there are, I believe, 5, there's 15 different chapters to go through. Or sorry, 5 different chapters, each having 3 parts. So this is part 1 of chapter 1. Wow, yeah, there's lots going on. And it tells you which cards to set up, which makes life easier. Of course, you can play this game completely random. You just randomly choose whatever you want, and away you go. That includes the dungeon rooms, the monster decks, the heroes, everything. You just go ahead and do what you want. But I'm following the setup in the book. Wow, talked a lot. This has been a long episode. Join me next time, and we'll see if we can continue defending the town with our town guard. Thanks so much, and we'll see you then.